What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Red and Gold Standard Podcast. My name is Zach Hernandez, and as always, I am joined by my co-hosts, Matt Llewellyn and Mike Andrews of Nothing But Niners. We got a great show planned for you guys tonight. We'll be previewing the 49ers Week 3 matchup versus the Arizona Cardinals, their home opener here at Levi's Stadium. Before I toss it over to my guys, if you're watching on X, make sure you like and hit repost. If you're watching on YouTube, do us a solid, hit like and subscribe, hop in the chat. We want to hear your thoughts, and subscribe to both channels. Head over to Nothing But Niners, and if you're watching Nothing But Niners, hit subscribe, and then head over to 49ers Hive, hit subscribe. We appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. Now that I got that out of the way, Matt, how you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good, Zach. I'm ready to talk 49ers football, 2-0. I know we got cut short last time. I had an unfortunate engagement right in the middle of a pretty fun yet heated debate, so we're going to move on to the Cardinals and their little quarterbacks. So there'll be more quarterback talk for sure. I'm sure we're going to get to who's going to start for the 49ers, who may or may not start. But I'm ready. Let's jump into it.
Yeah, exactly. Got a great show, like I said. Mike, how you doing?
I'm on my Mr. Rogers over here, man. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I'm ready to rock and roll, man. Let's talk some ball.
Let's do it, guys. Without further ado, the 49ers, like I said, take on the Arizona Cardinals at home this week. Brock Purdy is probably the biggest storyline going into this week, whether or not he's going to play or isn't going to play. Let me have the injury chart pulled up here from the 49ers as of today. Shout out to Matt Barrows. And if you see here, Brock Purdy was limited, and he is still listed with the left shoulder and toe injury. However, I did see reporters saying that Brock Purdy said the shoulder injury is no longer really an issue, so it is just the toe injury, which is the turf toe. Are you guys leaning either way? Do you think he's going to play? I mean, what are your thoughts on this, Matt?
I think that they're going to use him as the emergency quarterback. I don't think he's actually going to start. I don't know. Something just tells me that he's not quite ready yet. And really, what's the rush to bring him back? Yes, would it be nice if he, was present for the home opener? Sure, ideally it would be. But Arizona looks like a winning or a winnable game either way with Mac Jones, who played well last week. You look at who they played. They played the Saints and played them tough, but it was, a low-scoring affair. And then they got the very, very, very lowly Carolina Panthers last week with Bryce Young, who seemingly has regressed to his pre-benching self. So it's tough to tell exactly what they are, but Carolina was able to run the ball on them. Chuba Hubbard, for example, was able to run the ball. So if the 49ers can come out and run the ball, maybe you just keep Brock Purdy in the chamber for, Jacksonville if you need to, but really for the Rams, you want him back for that. I think that's going to be the toughest game coming up here in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, it does seem like it's kind of rushed. I did see a comment in here from Strawberry Reacts. When he speaks to the media, he plays, but I don't really know. I did think it was interesting that he was speaking to the media. I think they had both him and Mac, but
they had both.
Yeah,
it's a little gamesmanship, right?
Yeah. If you do practice, you are available to speak to the media. Mike, what's your take on this? What are your thoughts?
Let him sit, man. Let him sit. Let him rest up. And if by chance Matt comes out and he can't get over the early game jitters, then you go ahead and pull him out or something like that. If you're a quarter and a half in and he's still out there messing up the way he did that first drive, then you pull him, right? But make him if he's the emergency back, there has to be 2 injuries. So it can't be that. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking maybe make him the backup in the game and make the other dude Martinez the emergency back instead of Brock. I don't know how that works on the NFL list or whatever. So, but I definitely wouldn't start him right away.
I guess my only pushback to that would be if he's healthy enough to be the backup, why wouldn't he just start? Because he's one play away from needing to play anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't think that he is healthy enough to get the start. I'm just saying that if he's going to be the emergency quarterback, there has to be 2 injuries. I'm just looking at trying to find the loophole. That's all.
Right. Right. But that's my whole thing, though, is just like, if you're going to not use sorry, I don't even know who the third stringer is for the 49ers.
Aiden Martinez.
Aiden Martinez.
Aiden Martinez. Okay, if you're going to use Aiden Martinez or not have Aiden Martinez as the backup, I should say, and use Brock Purdy as the backup, then why wouldn't you just start Brock Purdy? Because again, he's one play away, and if you're one play away from needing to go in the game anyway, you might as well just start the game.
Yeah, but so the reason you don't start him is if he's not completely healthy. You don't want him to mess up that shoulder anymore or pull something else in that foot.
What I'm saying is he's literally one play away from having to come in and do the thing that you don't think he's ready to do to begin with. So why wouldn't you just keep him as the emergency? If Mac Jones goes down and you have to play Aiden Martinez, okay, that's what you have to do. But if Mac Jones gets hurt, let's say just for whatever, he takes a hit, gets a concussion, can't come back in the game. Now all of a sudden Brock Purdy's out there on a gimpy foot that you didn't want him to play with to begin with. You see where I'm getting at with this? It's if he's good enough to play one play away and be the backup, then why wouldn't you just start him?
No, I do get it. So you don't want to start him if he's not fully there. And
ready.
I get what you're saying, right? Injury. But I'm saying I didn't say injury for Mac being benched. What I was starting was if he's just playing poorly, right? Mac talked about how that opening drive, then they show him on the sideline. He's sitting there like this with his eyes closed. He's like, and then he goes to the podium and says, like, they were talking about meditating and lowering your heart rate and all that stuff and just settling in and playing ball, right? Maybe he tries that and it doesn't work a couple of times. All right, sit this series out. Let's put someone else in. Like, let's just say Brock, because you're allowed to switch your active quarterbacks 1 and 2. I mean, we've seen it with Alex Smith and Kaepernick. You know what I mean? Like, I'm saying, like, maybe give him a rest because we don't want Brock to get hurt, and then put him back in. Like, hey, all right, you got your head clear? You ready? Let's go.
Yeah.
But I do understand what you're saying, though.
I think it's tough to do even that, though, because, again, if Mac Jones starts playing poorly, does Brock Purdy start pacing the sidelines like, all right, let me in? And do you have to kind of protect Brock from himself? Because if it's up to Brock Purdy, he's going to play, right? Just like if it was up to Christian McCaffrey's going to be in there every day doing practice and everything else. And sometimes you have to be like, hey, man, go sit on the side, relax. We got this. Don't worry about it, whatever else. If he's the backup, you kind of almost have to, again, account for that competitiveness too. If Mac Jones goes out there and does something wrong, to the point where you may lose the game, do all of a sudden you throw him in there. And then if you throw Purdy in there and it's not an injury and Purdy looks like he's gimpy, then do you pull him back out for Mac? I mean, this kind of gets to NBA type levels, right? Like, do we bring in the 6th man right now, or do we let the starter just keep going, even though it's a poor matchup and he doesn't look like he's doing well? I don't think you can really do that with quarterbacks in the same way. I don't think that that's good for continuity for the offense. I think the offense would take a hit for that.
Yeah, see, and I'm completely with that. Like of what you're saying, you don't think is a good idea, right? Take full advantage of the roster. Like let's get these guys. We rotate offensive linemen sometimes. We rotate quarterbacks. Wide receivers, running backs, like defensive linemen. Everyone gets rotation except the quarterbacks, right? Like, hey, let's give them a breather for a second if we have to. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see how the Niners play it. I think that rushing him back to start is just dangerous.
Is Aiden Martinez on the 53 right now?
He's listed as the backup, I think. Oh, yeah, no, he's active, right? I think he's active. Now I got to pull it up. Let's see. 49ers, 53. All right. Oh, man.
You might be able to check.
No.
Strawberry saying he's practice squad.
So they were just going to bump him up.
Multiple are saying that he's on the practice squad. Okay, so then Brock Purdy will be the backup then. What I was going to say was if Aiden Martinez is active, then Brock Purdy's almost certainly going to be the emergency quarterback just because you don't want to have 3 quarterbacks on the active 53 if you can help it. So, yeah, Brock will probably be the backup. And we'll see how that goes for sure.
And then they'll bump Martinez up on game day because you can do that with guys on the practice squad. So that would still make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so if they bump Aiden up, I mean, Brock's going to be the emergency guy. Otherwise, they're probably going to fill that 53 spot with something else that they could use.
How would you do it, Zach?
I would sit Brock if he's not 100%. I think that this is a game the 49ers can be competitive in with Mac Jones. Mac Jones came up last weekend, played relatively well. I mean, the numbers were good. The definitely needs a little more what's the word, I guess I should say, experience in this offense, I think, and more time with the receivers. But I was somewhat impressed, to be honest with you. And then I did watch shout out to JT Sullivan, the QB school, break down, each throw and put a little bit more into perspective. And it wasn't, only on him. Some of the receivers weren't doing great. So I would start Mac. I really would. We're going to get through the Cardinals injury report right now, but they are beat up pretty badly as well. Probably even worse, especially on defense. So I think this is a game the 49ers could afford to let Brock Purdy sit and rest if he needs it. Now, if he's fully healthy, it's not even a discussion. Like, let him play. But do you rush him back, risk a further re-injury? Would you have Jacksonville coming to town next weekend, and then you have a short week for the Rams, if my memory serves correctly? So I think it's a bit more important to have him healthy for the long term. So I would start Mac. If Brock Purdy isn't 100%, let him sit, honestly. Mac has shown so far that you could win with him, at least against the bottom level of teams in the NFL. And until he proves otherwise, I think you get your money out of him. That's why they paid him. So gave him a pretty decent contract, come be the backup quarterback, take advantage of it.
Yeah, 49er fans have to be careful with thinking that we have two starters on the team, right? The purpose of a backup is to go out there and win one of two games or two of three or something like that, right? You don't want this to be the one that they lose because the importance of this game varies depending on who you're asking. But some people say that this is like the game. Like, you go out there and you are number one with a bullet in the division. You're 2-0 and all that stuff. So, it's going to depend on how important people see this game. I kind of view it as, if we fell, we're tied for first in the division still. You know what I mean? Like, we'd be a half a game behind the Cardinals because they would have the head-to-head tiebreaker. But so what? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I feel about it. So I would be willing to risk it with Mac Jones.
When you think about it, too, and we'll get into the injury reports and everything, but the Cardinals' secondary is a little banged up right now, and it looks like they could be, prime pickings for, at least if we don't see another, 270-yard, 3-touchdown performance from Mac Jones, at least something that can get points on the board. And as I alluded to earlier against Carolina, they gave up a lot of running yards. So there is stuff there for the offense to where you don't have to place it on Mac Jones to necessarily win you a game. It's like, maybe just don't lose it for us.
All right. And you referenced the rest of the injury report. Well, let's get into it here. Let me pull it up here. So Nick Bosa, vet day. Spencer Burford did not participate with a knee injury. Yetur Gross-Matos limited with the knee. I feel like that's going to be something we're going to see all year. Jordan James has been dealing with that finger injury. Full participant all week, thankfully. Jawan Jennings did not participate, ankle and shoulder. Kyle Juszczyk dealing with concussion, limited participant, which is better than yesterday where he did not participate at all. Christian McCaffrey got a vet day. It was full participant. He got a vet day yesterday. And Siran Neal still dealing with concussion, but he was limited. Brock Purdy, like we said, limited. Jordan Watkins, this was a bit unfortunate because he did come back off of the injury report. You see on Wednesday, no designation there. And then today he popped up with apparently another calf injury. And then Trent Williams was limited today, knee/vet day. I see the Jordan Watkins, and I just can't help but kind of laugh, unfortunately, Matt, because it seems like this kid has just had, setback after setback. Maybe it's only 2 now, but he looked good in the first 49ers preseason game and then had one calf injury or hamstring injury that put him out like 4 or 5 weeks. He finally gets back healthy, and he apparently has another setback. Now, he did still participate somewhat, but how concerning is it hearing that just...
Yeah, I mean, it's concerning. It's also kind of annoying, right? Like, you just keep wanting to see these guys and something happens. It was the same thing with Jordan James, who had an injury in preseason or in camp. And then, preseason, he injures his finger, misses time. And it's just like, man, can we ever have good injury luck? Like, what the hell? It gets to be a little annoying, and you just want to see these players play, especially when you look at the fact that, man, we need more speed on the edge. We need more speed outside at the wide receiver position, and Jordan Watkins could definitely bring that. But not if he can't stay healthy. And it's just more of the same of injuries, right? If it's not Elijah Mitchell, it's, Ricky Pearsall getting shot. If it's not Ricky Pearsall getting shot, it's Isaac Guerrero with like 6 different injuries. Not Isaac Guerrero with 6 different injuries. It's this guy with injuries, Ben Barch is a walking piece of like mosaic stained glass. Every time somebody breathes on him, a crack forms. So it gets annoying, and it gets to be a lot. So hopefully he could do something, but I don't know. Hopefully it's not serious, but yeah.
Yeah. So, not to say that bowling is football, right? But I don't know if I told you guys, I've been like, I had one Charlie horse for the first time in my life the other day. And since then, I've been feeling it like trying to come back, right? So I'm literally like walking around with a massage gun and just beating my calf up with this massage gun, right? If that was what was going on with Watkins, he would be listed as limited, right? Like, how does it feel? Go out there, run a couple routes. How does it feel, right? It's just a limited designation. I'm not overly concerned with it. I think that if there were injuries to the wide receiver position, he would be able to go out there and contribute. So I'm not gonna beat the kid up over a calf limited designation. It's not like he missed.
And to be fair, right? Christian McCaffrey, we all freaked out about that, and it was fine.
And this dude is absolutely fine, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like he was out. He was limited, so probably working on the side field, right? Getting a little massage or whatever else, stretching in. It could very well, again, be like what I said for Christian McCaffrey, where it's like maybe he just felt a little more sore than normal, and that's what, and they ended up like seeing, okay, we'll just hold you out a little bit.
So, speaking of Christian McCaffrey, I wanted to ask you guys a quick question about, Kyle Shanahan and Kubiak, who's our offensive coordinator? It's Kubiak, right? They're doing their pressers, following the game and to start this week off, and they keep on mentioning that when teams are playing us with the 2 high safeties, it's just harder to get the explosive runs. And they're like, we didn't get any. I think our longest rush was 13 yards, but we keep chipping away, and we're not going to get the big ones if teams keep playing us this way. Why are they so willing to openly say that? Is this a play? Are they like Matt said in the beginning? It's kind of gamesmanship, right? Like you see in Brock Purdy listed as limited and all that stuff on the injury report. Is this part of the gamesmanship? Are they throwing that out there, hoping that teams continue to play us that way because it's opening things up underneath, maybe instead of because it's one less person down instead of playing single high. They're playing the 2 safeties and they're playing them deep. Like why will they keep saying something like that if they know it is specifically stopping us from being as successful in the run game? Because I think our run game was successful, but we didn't get the big ones like they said.
It's a double-edged sword. I think that you can have success on the ground. Like I think the 49ers had success. So you look at Christian McCaffrey with his 13 carries and you don't see great success, but he averaged 4.2 a carry. So it's not like it's terrible. I think that when you look at 2 high safety, what it does do is it can take away or give the defense time to react if McCaffrey gets to the second level. And because he's not one of those guys that is just going to beat you with pure blistering speed, maybe it gives them a chance to catch up. But again, because you have one less guy in the box running too high and they're further away from the line of scrimmage, you can exploit that at least for meaningful runs, if not gigantic runs.
And Zach, before you go, I saw that comment there by Briscoe. Says 2 high safeties is what you want to run against, right? Yeah, and that is true if you're looking for 4 or 5 yards a pop, right? But that's not the McCaffrey that we're used to seeing. That's not even the 49ers that we've seen Guerrero bust a 30 or 40 yarder and Mason bust a 30, 40 yarder and so on and so forth, right? Like they're specifically saying that's why we can't get those big ones. Like they're putting it out there. It's not that we're not successful, like I said, against the run, because I think we were. Just under 4 yards a carry, I think is how it ended up being. But like I don't know, man. I think it's there you go, Briscoe. He's got it now. Like 2 high safeties help you control the clock, and I think that's going to be the basis of the 49ers offense all year long. Solid defense and control the clock.
So your question was, do I think that the 49ers coaches are saying that on purpose, kind of like trying to goad opposing teams into playing that? I mean, possibly. I think that they were somewhat happy with their running game the past 2 weeks, even though, well, maybe I should say last week mainly because the first week wasn't great. But I think last week it was actually okay. They never had the solid like 15, 20, 30 yard run like you just referenced, Mike. But Matt just said, they were averaging 4 yards a pop. It's like, I think I saw a stat today on X, and I meant to save it, that it was Christian McCaffrey's most efficient game as a pro. And it's not like he had a crazy great game. He didn't have 180 yards or anything like that, but he was efficient. So I think they're happy with the offense. And something we haven't really talked about, we talked about a little bit on the recap show, Connor Colby, as soon as he came in, those running lanes opened up. Now, it was very limited experience or very limited snaps to try and take away like a overlying message from, but it was a very positive start. And it was something that they weren't getting with Ben Barch. So my hope is that with Connor Colby in the mix, that opens up the running game a little more. Plus the 49ers get a little more comfortable with their 1-2 tandem of McCaffrey and Brian Robinson. Because I don't know about you guys, I've been a little underwhelmed with Brian Robinson. And I'm at the point where it's like, well, fuck it, let's throw Guerrero back in here. Like, might as well see what Guerrero can do because...
I would say I want to see Jordan James more than I want to see Guerrero, who we've already seen self-tackle himself.
I mean, fair. I'd rather see James too, but he hasn't even cracked the field yet. So
I don't think that Robinson was brought in to be this home run hitter, long distance runner or anything like that. Now, I will say that he is struggling to see the holes and all that. And keep in mind, he's played behind 2 different offensive lines. Zach, to your previous point, when Barch is in there, it didn't seem to be working at all anywhere on the field. Right now, all of a sudden, they know that they can run behind Trent and Connor Colby. Right, those two together are really, really good. And I think it's kind of an understatement saying it was a sort of good game. Right? No, I think it was a great game for him. This kid, when we drafted him, it was like, all right, this guy is a run blocker. He's a run blocker. He's coming from that, Iowa, I believe is where he came from, right? Like, he's coming from that run game, and so pass protection is his weakness. That's what everyone was saying at the time of the draft, right? Because of the type of offense they ran in Iowa. And then when you talk to Kyle, when you hear from Forrester and what Kyle's hearing from Forrester, it's that, no, we saw the opposite. We saw this kid as a really good pass protector. The run blocking was a bonus. And it's like, oh, so we got a real guard. Like, we got a good guard out of this. That if that's the case, like, all the film sleuths were watching after we drafted this guy and they started doing their research, oh, he's going to be a real big contributor in the run game. And to their points, we have seen that. But he had a clean sheet. No pressures, no sacks, no hits, no hurries, nothing as far as pass pro. And he dropped back, 39 times or something like that, they said in this last game? And he didn't give up a single one? So we got a solidified guard here. Barch's job was over just the second this kid stepped on the field. And I think that's going to continue.
It was really, really inspiring to see. He looked good. Like you said, Mike, he had a 100% win rate on all of his pass blocking snaps. I mean, just something the 49ers aren't used to saying about anyone, maybe outside of Trent Williams a year ago, because he hasn't looked as good. But it was very positive to see. We talked about the 49ers, injury report. Let's flip it over to the Cardinals injury report because theirs is much lengthier or more serious, I guess you could say. So tackle Kelvin Beachum. Can you guys see that? Let me pop it open in a new window. That way I can zoom in. Here we go. There we go. Kelvin Beachum, full participant. He had a vet day yesterday. Will Hernandez, guard, limited with a knee. Paris Johnson, tackle, limited with a knee. Will Johnson, their star rookie corner, who did not participate for the second straight day. I don't think he's participated all week with a groin injury. I think he left last week's game early. Other fella corner, Max Melton, limited with a knee. Tip Ryman, tight end, limited with a foot. And then Cody Simon, linebacker, and Dante Stills, defensive end, concussion elbow, both full participants. But their secondary, their cornerback specifically, their group is the most beat up part for the Cardinals. I think I saw that going into the game, they were already without their top 3 corners who had been down from earlier in the year with long-term injuries. And then they lost Will Johnson and Max Melton, I believe. So they were basically down their top 5 corners. And if one of them or both can't go, like Matt said, they're kind of primed for the picking. And I don't want to underestimate them at all because this is a team that did sweep the 49ers last year. But I don't know. Is it kind of like, I saw a question here earlier, like, will Mac have a throw above 20 yards? And he was that close to having a couple last week. So I want to say yes, especially against this group of cornerbacks.
Yeah.
What you? Oh, go ahead. Sorry,
didn't
Matt.
they put one on IR?
They put 2, and that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
What you're not going to see on that list because once
the
they're on
IR
IR,
guys.
you have to report it. They put Garrett Williams and oh God, I feel like there was someone else, but Garrett Williams for sure is on there. They put a defensive lineman Collier. on
LJ
IR as
Collier,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, that was their defensive lineman. So the other, I thought they put the other guy on IR. I could be wrong, but all right, it's just those 2 for now. Just Williams for now. But their whole secondary is banged up. And they even, I watched a presser from their coach, and he was talking. I mean, the defensive coordinator. He's talking about how excited he was for the youth to get in there and get an opportunity. I don't know if I'm excited for my youth to get an opportunity against Kyle Shanahan offense. You know what I mean? Like that's something that would honestly terrify me a little bit. Like you make one mistake, that's what Kyle does. He puts you in compromising situations and exploits it. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, it made me think of something. So yeah, like you said, Cardinals place Garrett Williams knee injury and defensive lineman LJ Collier knee injury as well on injured reserve. They also promoted cornerback Darren Hall from the practice squad to the active roster. Signed cornerback Iko Boyedo, bear with me there with the pronunciation, and defensive lineman Zach Carter to the practice squad. They released Elliott Brown from the practice squad. So they got a ton of moves going on. They are beat up. And if you guys remember, just last week, this was a team that barely beat, and you'd say, sure, barely, but they still won. Barely beat the Saints. The Saints very easily could have tied or won that game. At the end, it was like 20-13. Saints drove it all the way down the field, but could not convert on 4th down. And then last week, the Panthers, they end up losing by 5 to the Cardinals, but they were that close. I mean, they scored a touchdown to make it a 5-point game, recovered the onside kick. It was a little too much, too late, but dare I say, Kyler Murray has been outplayed by Spencer Rattler and Bryce Young in both of the games this year. This was supposed to be the year we saw Kyler Murray take that step forward. It's year 2 of Marvin Harrison Jr. You got Michael Wilson. They have another receiver over there that's a shifty guy. I'm forgetting his name. You got Trey McBride, who people have told me is George Kittle light. And then you have another, a good defensive coach, but still a good coach in Jonathan Gannon, who's kind of building a culture there. I'm not really seeing it. I don't know. Is it just, am I tripping? Am I being a hater? Like, do you guys see the same things that I'm seeing out of Arizona?
Yeah. You got the new Black Ops 7 coming out right now, and Kyler Murray, like, he's probably playing the beta mode. He's a celebrity, so he got the early edition of it, right? Like, it's not that they're not good. They're competitive. They're winning, so let me not put any kind of disrespect on them, right? Everyone probably says the Niners probably should have lost the first game, right, if it weren't for that turnover at the end of it, right? And they probably say the same thing about this game as well, like they're as beat up as the Cardinals are. I believe that everybody on our schedule feels that we are more depleted. So let's be very clear here. Again, once the players are on IR or PUP, you don't have to report them. So they aren't seeing names like George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk out there. You know what I mean? They're not going to see Barch out there anymore on the injury report list because these guys are officially off the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're on a different list now. And so I think that the Cardinals are probably licking their lips saying the same thing, like, hey, this is a very injured and depleted team. We also have an opportunity to take number 1 in the division, So it's saying something. It's saying something. Go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry. I kind of cut you off at the beginning there.
No, listen, I know that we talk about Kyler Murray starting to pop and all that stuff, and you alluded to Call of Duty Black Ops 7 and all that, but that's kind of been the story with him. It's just a lack of good decision making. And does that come from a lack of film study or does that come from somewhere else? And I mean, even today, I don't know if you guys saw the controversy with him today. Did you guys see it?
The Mike Vick jersey. And
so he wore a Michael Vick jersey in a photo shoot with dogs. Yeah. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, idiotic. It's such a stark.
Wait, did he really?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And it was a Michael Vick Virginia Tech jersey.
And he had 2
and it was
bulls.
such a yep. And it's such a stark lack of awareness of the situation. And it's a microcosm of what his playing career has been. I've always said that if you gave Brock Purdy Kyler Murray's arm talent, he would be like a top 3 quarterback in the league. Like, no questions asked, he would be one of the best. It's just in between his ears. in between his ears, it's just not there.
He's got all the talent in the world, even despite his height deficiencies.
Yeah, I mean, come on, brother. Like, what are you doing there, buddy?
All right, so this is if this is real, right?
It is real.
This is his way of saying
he apologized.
Yeah, and well, he shouldn't have apologized. Number one, that's so. If you're gonna do something and you're gonna do it for a reason, he had to know what he was wearing, right? So I think the message that he was probably
you think
going
that,
for
but
was,
I don't think that he thought it through. Yeah, you're giving him too much credit. I really do think that he's a grade A moron.
You don't think that there's a chance that he felt, because the dog is brown, everything he's wearing is brown. You don't think there's a chance that he felt, I believe in redemption. I believe in
Do you want to know what he said? Do you want to know what he said?
Is it the apology or why he was doing it?
I mean, kind of both. He kind of explained his
okay,
reasoning.
Yeah, let's hear it.
He said, in no way, shape, or form do I condone animal cruelty or dog fighting, whatever it is. Murray told reporters on Wednesday, for me personally, y'all saw me wear the Michael Vick jersey, a player I admired very much growing up. Being home with my pups, my dogs Trunks and Swoosh, they both get treated like kings. But yes, I saw how it affected people and decided to take it down. I apologize to anybody and whoever I affected.
AKA, I didn't really think about it.
AKA, sorry if you took that the wrong way. Like, come on.
Right, because he's a Cardinal, I'm going to say, yeah, I was going to say, because he's a
dumb.
Cardinal, I'm going to say he's a bonehead. But like I personally believe that, Mike Vick did his time. He got over it. He went out and did a whole bunch of positive things for the dog community and so on and so forth, right? And so, like, people are like, oh, he should never be allowed to have a dog again and all that kind of shit. Like, I don't believe in that kind of thing. But I think that Kyler Murray I want to know the purpose behind this photo shoot. Like, this had to be for something in particular. And so I don't want to know about the apology, because he also didn't say, I'm sorry. He said, I'm sorry for anybody I offended. So there's a big difference, right? Like, if I sit here and I give a take on a player, right, and someone's mad at me, my take is still my take. Now, if you took it the wrong way and you're offended, my bad. Like, I wasn't trying to offend you out there, but that was just my opinion on it. So it's a tongue-in-cheek apology.
I agree.
But I don't.
I think that the photo shoot was simply for his Instagram. There was no magazine. There was no Sports Illustrated or ESPN coming to shoot this dude. Like, it was just for shoot pictures of him.
You know why? I know it's for his Instagram and not for any magazine, because the magazine would have been like, "Hey, brother, maybe we should do a wardrobe change before you put this shit on film."
Yeah. We have a team of attorneys that could exactly predict how this is gonna go. I will say Travis Kelce's sitting there saying, somebody else wore a stupid fucking shirt this week, so I'm not getting all the smoke for that. Did you guys see what those idiots wore in Kansas City? Tell me you saw that.
Free Raishi Rice
Free four, like he's some prisoner or something. Come on,
First of all, he was the one that made the mistake, and with the car and all that stuff.
Yes.
And by the way, he didn't appeal his suspension. He accepted it. So what are you freeing him from?
Yes.
Like, he agreed. Yeah, I should probably be suspended.
Yep. Strawberry says the Cardinals beat the Saints by more than the Niners, with the Niners' backup quarterback, I will add. Like, this is the Cardinals at full strength going into the season, minus whatever players they didn't have, obviously, to start the year, but there's a big difference there. They had Kyler Murray. What's that?
Who was the home team?
Saints.
When the Cardinals played them?
I'm pretty sure Saints were at home both weeks, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because, I mean, the NFL gives you 3.5 for being home for a reason, so,
We got a super chat from our guy, Gray Fox 198. Thank you very much, Gray Fox. Cardinals are annoying, and it is always tough when we play them. It's going to be one of those annoying games where we let them hang around, and it'll come down to the last minutes of the game. If it's anything like the last 2 weeks, that's not a problem for the 49ers, because they are no longer the choke at the end. They are the come in clutch at the end type team on defense. But boy, they were that close to shutting it down on offense. If just Llewellyn can get a little more of a hand on it, or if Mac puts it in a better spot.
He had a couple of drops. Yeah, there were a couple of drops down the stretch there that would have made this game look like it was a walk in the park if it weren't for those drops. So that's going to be more towards the prediction, so I'll wait. I'll save it.
Gotcha. Okay, so we were talking about Arizona and just how, yes, they're 2-0. They haven't looked great. The same could be said for the 49ers. Totally fine. They played one game with their starting quarterback, one game without. My argument to that would be they played the same team. You could take some similarities away from how they both played the Saints. Like I said, the 49ers were with Mac Jones, whereas the Cardinals were with Kyler Murray. But the second team that these teams played, Seattle versus Carolina, is a much bigger difference. Seattle has a top-ranked defense, top-ranked defensive coach, a team that has clear playoff aspirations, and the Cardinals played the Panthers, who can't seem to get their own head out of their ass for some reason. So I'm not that impressed with them. And I know I said they swept the 49ers last year, but I think that says more about the 49ers than it does the Cardinals. And 916 49ers, stop James Conner. He hasn't even looked the same. It's been more of their two-back, who's usually, I'm forgetting the guy's name right now, usually more like a
Trey Benson.
guy. Trey Benson, yeah, but I feel like he's been more effective than Conner. We're used to like the ground and pound, bouncing off defenders, 15, 16 touchdown year James Conner. I'm not sure if that's him anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, even if it, let's go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, like Connor's 30 years old. He's starting to age out. Like, at some point, running back production kind of falls off a shelf, and he's averaging 3.2 yards a carry so far this season. And it's not like the Saints or the Carolina Panthers are breaking anybody's doors down with their phenomenal defenses. So, yeah, I don't know. I just division games always kind of weird me out because freaky stuff happens. Zach, when you go back and watch Miami Buffalo, you're going to figure that out. You know what I mean? I think there's something inherent that comes with playing the same team twice every single season. You get very, very familiar.
Yeah. So that comment right there by Mac49 is exactly what I was going to go to, right? You guys got to remember something. That James Conner, I don't know the numbers at all. I'm willing to bet that these are the games that we missed the most tackles in, right? We don't have those same coordinators anymore, right? This is not the Nick Sorensen show. This isn't the other guy, right? Saleh's back. And while we do miss some tackles, it's nowhere near to the clip that it was then. Robert Saleh somehow found a way to make Jair Brown look good in his defense, right? Like all of a sudden it's like, whoa, he's playing big nickel, right? And all of us have been saying, like, let him play downhill. He should not be back there as free safety. It's not his strength. Let him play downhill.
According to him, it is. He's a top 5 safety in the NFL, according to him.
Him who?
Brown.
Jair Brown.
Yeah, he said that.
He said that.
Yeah, I'm a top 5 operation supervisor in Adapt Health, and I know that there's 1,000 other ones, right? Like, so I'm going to say the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm supposed to believe in myself.
Yeah,
but we've seen the film, Jair, and again, you're my guy, Jersey, all day, every day. Like, let's go, right? But, bro, no, like, because you're technically a safety, he's having a good season so far. He's contributing on special teams. When they call his number to actually step on the field, he's being productive. But, bro, like, they're using him the right way this time, right? This little transition to maybe linebacker type role, outside linebacker, or we call it big nickel, depends on, 3-4-4-3. This seems to be his niche, right? Like, it's good. And it's only in spurts. Like, I don't know if I want to see a full game of him out there like that. But when we call your number, you've got the fresh legs, you've got the energy, and you can go out there and make those big hits and tackles. Like, that's what we need to see you do, like locking people up. But I again, to go back to my point, James Conner was the guy that was just bouncing off of 49ers defenders like a pinball off of bumpers. I think those days are over. And so it's going to be less about James Conner and who we're playing and more about the tackling fundamentals that have been reinforced this
Now,
season.
I do think we got to be careful, right? With James Conner and just automatically assuming he's not going to do anything. 49ers have a way of making players who are struggling look good. And the fact of the matter is, for as much as people want to give Robert Saleh credit for coming back and this and this and that, the run defense was a little sus last week. Alvin Kamara had 99 yards on 21 carries. That's 4.7 a pop. Like, that's too much. In a game where you shouldn't really be threatened by Spencer Rattler, and yet, again, Spencer Rattler was like 70% completions and had 3 touchdowns with no turnovers. It's other than the strip sack at the end. But it's just like...
Right.
Come on, guys. Is this defense really back, or did they just play a couple of very mediocre offenses? Because don't make any mistakes. Sam Darnold is still that fucking pumpkin.
Right.
And he's not that special. And outside of Jackson Smith and Jigba, they have almost no weapons there anymore. So, from one week to another with Seattle, is it going to be Zach Charbonnet who's like the better back, or is it going to be Kenneth Walker? You never know. And you kind of just got to guess which one. So I wasn't impressed with Seattle's offense. I wasn't impressed with New Orleans' offense. But particularly in the case of New Orleans, the 49ers kept them in the game. Some of that was those really bogus pass interference / holding calls against the defense. But again, that's been a staple here for years too, is not being able to get off the field. And whether it's their BS penalties or not, it still continues a trend of playing down to competition at times. And sometimes you expect that when the defense is tired or like the offense isn't doing their thing. But the 49ers offense put up 26 points. They had, a bunch of yards, 344 yards. Time of possession was about 50-50. So it's not like the defense was on the field in an inordinate amount of time. But again, 21 points given up, 99 yards on the ground at more than 99 yards. They gave up 121 rushing yards. And Kamara was able to get 4.7 yards a carry. Gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, Kamara's best game against the 49ers in his entire career. He went from a high of 17 rushing yards against the Niners to 94, I think it was, right? So,
yeah.
And by the way, I see Nigel saying mobile QBs is still our kryptonite. How many rushing yards did Rattler have? Because he's not
15.
Kyler Murray mobile, but Robert Saleh is going to make a focus of that. So I'm.
And Bosa alluded to as much. He said he's excited for what Saleh's putting in place to combat Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. In an effort to contain Kyler Murray, do you give up more runs up the middle, which would be a James Conner specialty? Because at some point, if you're getting edge contained, that's going to make you soft up the middle a little bit. And so you're relying on your guys, your rookies, and some of the guys who were here last year and didn't really perform. You're relying on them to win their matchups and be able to cover a run gap 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 in some cases. So it's going to be a big ask. It's going to be very interesting to see. And unlike the Seahawks and the Saints, they have enough at quarterback and enough at the skill positions, particularly with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride. Don't overlook Trey McBride, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. There's enough there that's going to stretch the 49ers defense and really kind of test their speed. So that would be the area where I'm kind of worried a little bit.
I think that the 49ers, Matt, the stats that you read off about how they were, because, it's like the Saints kind of had a really good offensive performance. That was Spencer Rattler's best day as a pro. You guys just said that was Kamara's best game versus the 49ers. Did you guys see that stat, by the way? Quick side note. He has 4 lost fumbles versus the 49ers and 3 versus every other team over the last 5 years or something like that. What a crazy stat that is. But anyway, it kind of just brings me back to Robert Saleh's whole bend, don't break philosophy, where in between the 20s, he has no problem giving up. But then again, that kind of does have an asterisk because they still got in the end zone 3 times. And if
they were 3 for 3 in red zone,
right, if their kicker doesn't miss that chip shot field goal to start the game, this game's a hell of a lot closer, and they no longer need to get in the end zone to take the lead. They could win it with a field goal at the end. I'm not relitigating last week. I'm just saying this defense, and I saw a comment here, maybe it's just a young defense. They are a young defense. They're the 3rd youngest defense in the league. But they're still performing at a high level, which is impressive, and you want that to continue. So you're getting the experience, you're getting the reps, and you're winning, which is the best of both worlds, where the 49ers almost never can get that great combination. But this is going to be their toughest test yet.
If Fred Warner is going to miss, if Fred Warner is going to miss 3 tackles a game, but get 1 forced fumble, whether he recovered it or not, is it worth it? Because I'm noticing that a big part of it is Fred's coming in with a fist. He's not coming in with open arms trying to wrap up. He's coming in with a fist, right? There was a play very early in the game. They completed a pass to a guy that was on the ground. Green goes to touch him down, and Fred told him, "Hey, wait, give me the op. I was right here with the fist. Give it, let me get my opportunities." Right. Could it be a over focus of specifically Fred? Because I don't see a lot of other players doing it. Could it be an over focus? Is that if Fred really just was going in for tackles, could we be even better? It's my question to you guys.
I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna say no because I don't think it's at the point where it's affecting him to where missed tackles is a huge part of Fred Warner's game. I really don't think so, but I think the benefit of getting a forced fumble and recovering it, that's such a huge swing of a game that I would much take I'd much rather take the risk
Didn't
of potentially getting that.
Also, didn't PFF give him one of like the highest grades they've ever given out for a game? Like he consistently is in the 90s for PFF grades for whatever those are worth. They see something. I don't notice Fred missing like a ton of tackles to get,
Me neither, by the way. It's not that I'm saying
the
he's
only
missing
time
anything,
I
because
ever see him going for those peanut punches, by the way, is if he has a good wrap on a guy or if he's coming in and somebody else
he's the
has
second
him.
man there. Yes, and that's kind of my point. Yeah, he's not doing it if he's one-on-one.
Did you see him? Sorry, Mike. Did you see him say that in that little montage? It used to be called 49 hours. Now I don't know what they're calling it. Where he's talking to the rest of the defensive side, and he goes, "I almost had it. I just need I need one more opportunity. I need y'all to hold him up. And if you could just get a player up, I'll come and get it." And then
the
sure
trenches.
Enough, the trenches. Jair Brown happened to wrap up. It was a weird pass, and Kamara's kind of falling down, and Brown, just happened to hold him up long enough for Fred to come in, and that's elite. That's an elite talent. You know how quickly everything is going, and you got all this adrenaline to be able to punch a football out like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, find it. He's very eerily accurate with that, by the way. He always seems to hit the ball. He's not hitting shoulder pad or not hitting, punching
Chest
air
plates
or anything like that. Man, he hits the ball. He hits the ball almost every single time. So, not unexpected. Again, I love Fred Warner, and I don't know. You guys probably remember, the defining play for him is him lawn darting himself 7 yards across the field to just take out a Rams player. I think it was Kyron Williams. And like that play forever lives rent free in my head. Like I love that play so much. And it speaks to how good he is, not only good at peanut punching the ball, but being able to launch yourself, 5 to 7 yards and still hit the guy when you're coming at a perpendicular angle. It was like perfect timing. It was just, he's the best in football. That's plain and simple.
Lyle Greenlaw still cooked. He still hasn't played.
Quad is.
I just saw a report today that he's still out, has not practiced. It's.
I just want to say I have been speaking on this since I heard about the quad injury. I'm like, he's probably not going to play, man. Yeah. Quad injuries are really tough to deal with.
You know who is noticeably silent, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this, in Dre Greenlaw not being here? Grant Cohn.
GC, yeah.
Grant Cohn. And I tweeted today, could you imagine the rants he would have gone on if the 49ers did extend him and he was not playing the way he's not playing in Denver here? I mean, we would never hear the end of it, but they didn't extend him. Now, don't, to be fair, they tried. They absolutely tried to, and he took less money to go to Denver by all reports. But boy, I can already hear the rants about how they gave a paraplegic money and he can't even walk and blah, 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 blah. But there's no credit for them when they move on to D Winters, who is having like a really, really solid year, which I think is interesting. Mike?
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying, they're going to miss Hufanga and they're going to miss Greenlaw, and they're both on the same team, and what are they doing? Like,
Hufanga's been thoroughly average.
But he had a forced fumble, Matt. Didn't you see?
Right, he's a box safety. We have that.
Right.
Bingo.
Again, that all pro. He's living off that all pro season that we've all discussed. That was not as good as everybody thought it was.
Yeah, it was not deserved. I have never seen an all pro award given out before. Like that's something
year.
that it was like I just didn't understand it, and it was like, dude, and it was odd because like, never mind. I don't even want to get into it. Let's keep it moving.
It was just weird.
We try
it was
to keep
like
the show at an hour.
You know those graphs where it's like hype and then like talent. Like very little talent to a lot of like. And I like Hufanga. I was a big fan. I wanted the 49ers to keep him. But that year, maybe there were no other great safeties. I don't know. But I don't know. I see Nigel. How is Mooney doing in Indy? I think he has a concussion. He didn't play last week. He had a fine first game. But I wish him the best. Got nothing wrong with Mooney, aside from coming out a little salty, wanting to get paid by the Niners. Okay, we have to keep this show. It's going to be a short one tonight, guys. The three of us are tired, and we got to get to bed to get to work tomorrow. So we're going to get to our predictions here and wrap up. But we will be live Sunday after the game, recapping it all. So why don't we start with defensive MVP predictions? Matt, who do you got?
You know what it is, man. You know what it is. We got the forced fumble. We got a sack, but we need 3 sacks with that forced fumble. Nick Bosa. I just have a feeling. Big season from him, particularly after the Saints. Michael Williams, and oh man, who else was it? There was another one.
Bryce
Was it?
You,
No, I think it was
Matos.
Alfred Collins.
Oh,
I think it was Alfred Collins. There was a moment where two of the rookies, alongside Nick Bosa, Michael Williams was definitely one, where they just collapsed the pocket. And if you could get Nick Bosa in one-on-ones because you're getting penetration from the guy next to him, that's going to free up Nick Bosa to do what he does. And Zach, we talked about this when we saw the tweets. Everybody was raving about Bryce Huff and how fast he got off the line of scrimmage. But Nick Bosa's get off is really, really elite as well. I think they had him at 0.77 seconds from time to snap to him, and I think Huff was like 0.71, but still, Bosa elite. I think that he's, going to get himself back in the contention for Defensive Player of the Year. Just looks really good so far. He's got a couple sacks. He's got that forced fumble. He's pressuring. He's getting in the backfield. Just looking good. So Nick Bosa, 3 sacks, forced fumble. Let's go.
on pace for 17 sacks, by the way. Mike, who do you got?
I'm going to go a little unconventional here. I'm going to go with D. Winters. I'm hoping that his speed comes into play. I see a big play, Kyler Murray scrambling around. Maybe he can jar the ball loose or something like that, and not even going for a punch out or anything like that. Just helmet on ball type of thing with Kyler Murray running up the middle or something like that. You know what I mean? And maybe he can go out there and get a forced fumble. I think D. Winters has a turnover. I'm going to say 8 tackles for Winters. I think they try to avoid Fred Warner, or Fred Warner's going to have to be in coverage on the poor man's George Kittle, right? I think Winters, if Winters has to cover, by the way, he's got enough speed to run with McBride. So I think Winters is going to be the guy for sure.
This is cool. I've never seen this before. Nay49 reposted the stream on X. I don't know why.
Let's go, Nay.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, my defensive player of the game. I did have Winters up there as well. I think he could be a great spy.
Damn it.
He's got.
You got to start going before
no,
me.
No,
I'm
you're
sorry.
good. I wasn't gonna pick him. But he was definitely one of my choices. I think I picked him last week, so in an effort to be different, I'm gonna pick Mike's last week at Diamador Lenore because this is a big test. This is a big test for Diamador Lenore. He's got Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson. The Cardinals have a third receiver. I know they do. Let me pull this up because this is bugging me now.
While you're pulling that up, it feels like the Amador Lenore's only been targeted 5 times all season.
Right.
And the couple of receptions, I don't think he's given up anything longer than a 7-yard reception. For him to be an outside guy, and he's strictly playing on the one side of the field. They're doing the thing like when we first got Richard Sherman, right? They have him playing to the quarterback's right the entire time.
So,
And if we go against a left-handed quarterback, do you guys think they move him to the left?
Probably.
yeah, probably. So,
Probably.
I guess, I don't know. I swear they had a third one, but all I'm seeing on their depth chart is Zay Jones and Greg Dortch. So maybe not. But for Lenore's stats this year, he's allowed 3 catches on 6 targets on 72 coverage snaps for 16 yards and a passer rating of 56.3 when targeted. Yet somehow he's ranked as the 64th cornerback with the 57.1 PFF grade. Shout out to Jason Aponte for that stat. Which is just wild, but
Pretty sure he hasn't given up a touchdown since the 2023 NFC Championship game.
correct.
Bingo. And it's on
Who
us.
who was it? It was Jamison Williams.
Jameson.
Right. It's on us as content creators to start putting his name out there, not just when we do the shows, but on social media as well. Because
One of the
this
best
guy
corners
is-
in the NFL.
Absolutely. And it's not even a question. He's got to be a top 5 corner in the NFL, not 60. Would you say 67?
He's ranked 64th with the 57.1 coverage grade. Just insane. It's just
See,
insane.
and this is sometimes when I'm just sometimes PFF, when you look at Fred Warner, okay, the grade makes sense. But sometimes when you look at Diamador Lenore, you're just
Right.
what even goes into this proprietary sauce? You know
He's
what
so
I mean?
good,
What
they
is
don't
this?
even look his way. But sure,
Yeah.
57 or whatever the hell. My stat prediction, by the way, I'm going to say 4 tackles, and I think he gets a pick. Give me a pick from the midget. All right. Matt, offensive player of the game. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is the return. This is the return of the CMC. I think Christian McCaffrey gets over 100 yards, has 175 from scrimmage, and goes for 2 touchdowns. I think that he's been very, very close to breaking a couple. One in particular, he got shoestring tackled and there was like nobody behind him. I think he was going to go because fortunately it wasn't 80 yards. It was only like 40, which I feel like is within his range to, home run hit. If he has to go 80, somebody is probably going to catch him because, he's fast, but he's not like fast anymore.
He's quick, not fast.
Yeah. He's very agile and very elusive and has good, quick feet. But yeah, he's not gonna win any sprints. That's for sure. But yeah, I just think that he's been close. Much ado about nothing. All of this talk about Christian McCaffrey looks slow or what? He doesn't look slow to me. It looks like so far the line hasn't really been able to open up a lot for him. That changed for me when Connor Colby came into the game. The first running play that they ran with him in the game, he opened up a beautiful hole for Christian McCaffrey to run through, and it was a 9-yard gain. So you get enough 7, 8, 9-yard gains, pretty soon you get one for 40. Pretty soon you get one for 45, 50. So it's only a matter of time. Christian McCaffrey looks healthy. He looks ready to play. I think that he goes for, over 100 yards and a couple touchdowns.
Nice. Mike?
Yeah, this is going to be a game where I think Kendrick Bourne makes his biggest effect, and he's not going to be the benefactor of it. It's going to be Juwan Jennings. Since Kendrick Bourne's arrival, I think Juwan Jennings has made it a point to be like, oh, Kendrick Bourne was brought in for a workout. Hey, guys, I'm healthy. I'm back, right? And then we signed Kendrick Bourne. It's like, oh, I'm ready to play in the game now, right? Like, don't worry about that injury that I had. And then he had a couple of drops last game. It's the redemption game for Kendrick Bourne. Think about this. He is the 49ers wide receiver 2/3. They lost their top corners. Their secondary is depleted. He is likely to be going up against the guy that they just elevated from practice squad or the free agent that they just signed. So that means, to me, he's going to have the favorable matchup all game long. I'm going to go with Juwan Jennings as the 49ers offensive player of the game. Give me 7 receptions. Give me 103 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Damn. Okay. Ellis, we'll get to this question after our predictions. I have it starred here, not ignoring you. I have a similar prediction to Mike, but come on. Wide receiver 1, baby, Ricky Pearsall. I also have 7 receptions, 165 yards, and 2 touchdowns going off against this beat-up secondary. I don't think it's that crazy, guys. I really don't. I mean, he's probably averaging close to 13, 14 yards a reception this season. His first 2 games have honestly reminded me of Brandon Ayuk the year he got paid. He's on another level. It really is impressive to see. So I think Ricky Pearsall versus this beat up secondary. If Mac Jones gets in there, go ahead.
Ricky Pearsall is averaging 20.5 yards per reception.
There we go. So yep. Mac Jones gets in there and he's just going to spam that Ricky button, man. So Ricky Pearsall, 7, 165, 2 TDs. And I think they connect on the defense. Let's go, baby. All right.
I know you said you started a message. I wanted to go back to Gray Foxes really quick. I said it was going to get into the predictions later on. He said here it's going to come down to the last minutes of the game. I don't think so, guys.
Oh.
I don't think so at all. I think the Niners blow the Cardinals out. I think Kyle has his team ready. They swept us last year. They were running all over us. We couldn't stop Kyler Murray, blah, 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 blah. I think all of that's going to permeate throughout the building. And the youth, the injection of the youth on the defensive side of the ball is going to pay dividends right now. They're going to be fast, they're going to be focused, and they're going to want to prove a point and say that, hey, the Niners didn't make a mistake with going with us. They're going to look at themselves, they're going to talk to each other, and they're going to say, we are the real deal. Fred Warner made it a point to say, hey, if we can score 26 points on offense, we're going to win every game this year, right? Like, that tells you that about the mindset that this defense has, right? And everyone's going to say, oh, the Niners haven't played anybody. Look at the rest of the schedule. We're not going to play anybody. Anybody that they're talking about, it's not on the schedule. We'll see the anybody's in the postseason. That's when it's going to be there. Everything else is practice and warming up for, week 19 and beyond. That's what this is all about right now. So we have to get there, yes, but the Niners are going to go out and on defense, and they're going to do some damage, and it's going to start in this game. This is the game that they send the message. It's the home opener. with or without Brock, they have something to prove, an improved offensive line, which is going to get to the second one that you want to talk about. I'm going to give my final score prediction now, and then I know I'm out of order and I'm bumping everybody, but I don't think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to come down to the last minute here. I got the Niners winning this one 33-17.
Boom! All right. Let's go. I like that. Matt, what do you got?
Yeah, so I'm kind of torn because the 49ers, they're, look good, feel good, play good. They're wearing the throwback whites. There's something about that really I kind of like, and I hope they do for their home opener every season, just because I do think that it's a very college thing to do, to have like a home whiteout game, which like would be really cool if you could get the fans to like all dress in white as well. I think that could be a very visually kind of cool thing to do. Tough to do, obviously, in Santa Clara when it's hot. But with that being said, I think it's going to be a tough ask to get the game you got out of Mac Jones again this week. There were a couple of passes that were a little bit dangerous. If Mac Jones plays, which I suspect he will, I think this game is going to be closer than we'd like it, but I do think that they're going to win by 10. I think that it would be 49ers 20, the Cardinals 10. I just don't think Kyler Murray and the offense has any juice. I don't think they're going to be able to contain Christian McCaffrey in the running game. I fully expect the 49ers to dominate the time of possession, and I expect this actually to be a shorter style game. And as long as it's close, you take away Marvin Harrison Jr., you take away Trey McBride, all of a sudden you're putting the onus on Kyler Murray through option plays and James Conner and Trey Benson out of the backfield. I think both teams run the ball a lot. The 49ers just do it much more effectively. 49ers win 20-10 in the home opener.
Damn. Okay. For me, and by the way, Lyle, 6 for 148 is what Ayuk had against them in 2023. So 7 for 165 isn't crazy. He's averaging roughly 20 yards.
20 yards.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. It's right there, man. Oh, man. Good job, Zach. Let's go, man.
Right?
Let's go,
baby.
kid.
I know what I'm talking about sometimes. All right. For me, I don't know. I can't really get a read on either of these teams, to be honest with you. I want to think the Niners are good. I want to think the Cardinals are ass. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle of both. So I got the Niners in like a nail biter just because that's the way they've had the season so far. And I think a lot of value is coming out of these tough, gritty wins. And I have the Niners 24, Cardinals 22. And I really don't know how they get to 22. Don't ask me, but maybe they score a touchdown and then go for 2 to make it 14-22. I don't know. That's
will
my
have
prediction.
me on the edge of my seat all game. I hope it's not that close. Oh,
I hope
God.
so too. I hope the favorite by 2.5.
We jump out to a big lead and then we start relaxing and let them come back, maybe something like that. But oh my God, if it's that close all game long, I don't like it. Because the scrambling running backs start to go crazy on us in close games.
Strawberry says, all of Pearsall's deep reception from Brock. Mac is playing this game. Kyle doesn't trust him to throw past 20 yards. He was that close to hitting Pearsall on a deep, probably 50, 60-yard touchdown. Pearsall stopped running halfway through his route for some reason.
Yes, that wasn't on Mac, yeah.
He put that ball right where it needed to be, but I don't know if Ricky didn't think that he was getting that ball, so he gave up.
I think that was part of it.
Right.
He's like, I ain't getting that shit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, uh-oh.
Oh, shit, I'm getting that shit.
Uh-oh.
Right. Shout out to 49ers Lakers, by the way. It takes a lot for a real Niners fan to say that. So I just wanted to salute that person for saying, I think we take an L here. And I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it, especially if we're going out there with Mac, the backup quarterback. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. I do feel like the 49ers are probably going to lose one of the next two. I do think it's either going to be this game or the Jacksonville game.
Well, let's hope it's Jacksonville for rankings perspective.
For
last
NFC
question
West.
here. And then we'll do a chat pack if we have time. Ellis, question. We always talk about how the 49ers don't improve the O-line. Do y'all think that's improvement? Last year, Pooney, Colby at left guard, and the other at C. I don't know if he's talking about Drew Moss at center because Drew Moss still hasn't broken into that starting
Hasn't
lineup.
played. No. Apparently, Jake Brendel is like playing out of his mind, and he's like really, really good according to PFF. Again, one of the weird PFF rankings.
Right.
Yeah.
I said that it would be the most hilarious thing for Jake Brendel to just become an all-pro out of spite. Just to prove it to Niners fans that he could.
I will say this: he seems to be indestructible. That dude does not get hurt.
True.
So,
Oh, Matt, why did you just say that, bro?
because I can't fucking stand Jake Brendel. So if he gets hurt, who gives a shit?
It's like my fantasy football quarterbacks. I drafted Joe Burrow, drafted Brock Purdy, and then I picked up JJ McCarthy after week 1. I tweeted that, and somebody replied, and they were like, "Could you pick up Mahomes or Jalen Hurts?"
Yeah.
Oh my God, man!
I don't believe in that kind of karma.
Luck.
I don't believe in that kind of karma, but he's been very, very durable for sure.
I do think that this is an improvement, though. I mean, Pooney has kind of, I don't want to quite say regressed, but he's not taking that step forward I would have liked to have seen.
There you go.
I hesitate to. I don't want to throw water on everybody's parade. I don't want to piss in anybody's Cheerios, but we go from Seattle with a good defensive front seven that causes a 60% pressure rate on Brock Purdy dropbacks to, wow, they looked really good against the Saints, who are absolute dog water. So the truth is probably somewhere in the middle.
The Saints
I
also
would
play a
hesitate.
5-man front. So like that was also part of it, right? It's a hat on a hat. So it's not like going against a 4-man front, which is the norm.
Right. But I mean, again, hat on a hat is probably not that tough if you're just engaged. I mean, that's what you do mostly in training camp, right? One-on-ones. That's what they practice. That's what they practice the most is blocking one-on-one. So I would say that if you're running a 5-man front and you're not seeing a bunch of stunts and you're not seeing a bunch of crazy technique from the defensive line, that's probably easier to block than a 4-man front where they're doing loops and stunts and whatever else that they're doing. They're disguising blitzes. I am just going to tell you right now that Seattle is a significantly better defense front seven than the Saints are. So the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. They're probably not going to give up 60% pressure every single week to every single team. They're probably not going to be as improved as we think they are against the Saints. You're probably looking at somewhere in the middle. And again, I think that's why it's unfair to ask Mac Jones to do what he did last week. It's probably at least a faster defense than Mm-hmm. And if Will Johnson plays, that's trouble because, when he's healthy, he looks good.
Now, and I know we got to be quick. I know we got to get out of here soon, right? But to counter kind of Matt's point, right? Like they're going to be faster. I think what we benefited from in this game was that Mac Jones turnover where he openly admitted, I just held the ball too long. I think that play clock of his is going to be sped up now. So it'll counter that faster defensive line, that those edge rushers coming off. So hopefully, like he learns from that. Like I gotta be quicker with the decisions that I make and get rid of the ball faster. So hopefully it'll be we learn from last week and we get better. That's what we want to see. If we continue to get better every week, the Niners can win this game.
Yes. Nigel asked if Pinero goes perfect on his kicks. Knocking on wood, but hopefully he has a good home opener.
He'll continue to be perfect on his field goals. Yes.
Yeah. He's got trouble with the extra points.
Right. The short stuff which is weird to me. It's his
for whatever reason.
Also.
Yeah.
Okay. Chat pack time real quick, and then we'll wrap up here.
Then we'll get out of here.
In your opinion, what is the most beautiful man-made object in the world? In your opinion, what is the most beautiful man-made object in the world? Chat, feel free to answer with your answers as well. I have one if you guys...
Okay, go ahead.
I have, off the top of my head, my first answer goes to the... And I don't know if this is how it's pronounced, the Cologne Cathedral in Spain, I believe. Is that what it is? Let me Google it real quick. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but it is just absolute. It took like 600 years to build or something crazy like that. You guys ever seen pictures of this? It's just absolutely massive. Beautiful, beautiful. The inside, gorgeous. Tell me when you guys have your own so I could stop filibustering here.
I mean, I have a cop-out answer. If we're talking about man-made objects, I will say that the most beautiful man-made object in existence is my two children.
I knew you were going to say that. Okay, yeah.
They're man-made. Have to go there first. I gotta respect the girls and everything else like that.
Well,
Do you have another
Other than that,
object?
Because I have an answer. The Taj Mahal is going to be my answer, while Matt thinks about another one, because this is something that was built in what, the 15 or 1600s or some shit like that, right? Like, this is a very old structure. If you look at, I mean, this is probably some of my bowling bias that comes out of me, right? There's a bowling oil pattern called the Taj Mahal, and it's based off of like the oil patterns, like it's high up here and then it's higher in the middle, so it's harder to strike on that, right? Like, it's one of the more difficult oil patterns to bowl on. And when you step back and look at what they actually put together, whenever the hell, I don't know the year that it was built, but like, look at that. That was done without electricity. That was done without gas-powered vehicles. Like, that is insane to me. And then if you were to look at like the actual details of it, and when you get inside and all that, it is insane, absolutely beautiful. Like, this is, one of the reasons I want to go to see the Coliseum and all that, right? Like, how are structures like this still up and intact and all that? Like, this is something that just it's completely mind-blowing to me. Like, just look at that picture. It is phenomenal.
Beautiful. And the man like built it for his wife, right? Isn't that how like the whole story behind it?
I never knew the story behind it. I just assumed it was like the palace in India. That sounds racist as shit, right? But it's just what I assumed the palace was, right? Like, it's just, look at that thing. Like, what's the square footage of it?
Was built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan as a magnificent mausoleum for his beloved wife Mumtaz Mahal, who died in 1631 while giving
Mausoleum. That's a fucking tomb.
14th child. His profound grief inspired him to create the eternal testament to their love, a masterpiece of architecture intended to immortalize her and serve as a symbol of love, beauty, and devotion.
The central mausoleum is approximately 35,167 square feet.
Damn. That is
crazy.
I've never loved anybody that much in my life.
Can I kind of fuck it up for you, Mike?
What?
The backside?
The area surrounding that building is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it's what I've
What do you
heard.
mean the area surrounding
Full
like
of
the backside of it?
piss and shit and garbage and trash and whatever else. It's
Wait, are you talking about the
completely polluted.
neighborhood, or are you talking
Yes,
about the structure
yes.
itself?
No, surrounding it.
Oh yeah,
You
no,
have
the
this
neighborhood
beautiful
can be
thing,
shit.
and it's all
fine.
trash around it.
I just found out now that it's a fucking tomb. So yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at a tomb being pissy, right? Like the outskirts of it, but the structure itself is phenomenal.
I have an object, and it's just because I'm a vet. I love this country, no matter how fucked up it is sometimes. But the Statue of Liberty, for what it is, for what it represents, it was a gift. It was a gift to us from France. I would love, somebody had this idea, and I think it would be absolutely awesome, because most people don't know that it's not actually green. That's just oxidization. It's actually brass.
Right. Can we power wash this bitch and make her bronze?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It would take $500 million in like the entire year to do, but in 2026, July 7th or July 4th, 2026 is the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, us becoming a country or whatever. I think it would be awesome to actually buff that thing out so that it was brass again, until it reoxidizes or whatever. But like, I think that would be really cool. And by the way, if you did that and spent money on it the first time, and just kept up, and you just gave it a budget every year, you could actually keep it looking brass like that.
Exactly. I mean, and look at the before and after. I mean, that is completely stunning. Like, that is basically a mold structure now, but the meaning of it and everything, Matt, that's a good pick also.
Yeah,
it's
and
like
they have the other one in France still. They came as a pair.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but it's not as big.
It's not as big.
One's bigger than the other, significantly bigger than the other. I think this is the bigger one.
The one that we have is the big one.
Yeah.
It's like when you leave a penny in your cup holder for like a year, and it's got that like
that's exactly what color it turns. And it's made worse, but because of the fact that the Hudson River's there, and you get the ocean's right there, and so all that seawater just corrodes it. But yeah,
it's a good pick. Good answers, gentlemen.
Well done, fellas. Well done.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well done.
Mike, I'm sure the folks already know. Please let them know where to find premium 49ers content if they aren't already.
No clips this time. I promise you guys that. No clips at all. But guys, you see it right down there, man. Patreon.com/NB9 ERS. We got a new video coming to you guys tomorrow morning. Join the Patreon. Any paid tier, you get some bonus videos and all that stuff over there. $5 and up, you get to join us on game days. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys join over there. If you guys are watching right now, Retro Gamer, I see you in there. You're the last name I see up there. I know that you're watching on Nothing But Niners. Make sure you come over to my guys over here, 49ers Hive. You see it right down there, and make sure you subscribe over there as well. Make sure you guys are dually supporting both of these channels because we work really hard to bring you guys solid premium content, and you won't want to miss it. So make sure you follow both. All right, Patreon, 49ers Hive, right down there.
Appreciate you, Mike. Thanks for joining as always, making the time for us from the East Coast. We appreciate it. Matt, without further ado, see us out.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Home opener. Hopefully it's not too hot. I don't know what the weather's going to be, but they're wearing
80 degrees Sunday.
Okay,
not too bad.
So not too bad, but if you go to the game and you're sitting on that sun side, wear sunscreen, stay hydrated. 80 degrees doesn't sound hot, but when the sun's just like blaring down on you, it's going to get warm. So, again, 49ers are going to look good. Hopefully they feel good. They play good. Let's get a division game out of the way. Second one of the year. Go 2-0 in the division. Let's kick some ass, take some names. For Mike, for Zach, for myself, thank you guys as always for joining us. We couldn't do this without you. And until next time, go Niners.